Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. We love to really get into those topics you're curious about,
That's right.
and today is no exception. We're diving headfirst into the world of relationships.
Always a fascinating topic.
Oh, absolutely. Full of twists and turns, and sometimes, a few bumps in the road.
Definitely. It wouldn't be a relationship without a little bit of a challenge now and then.
Exactly. And speaking of challenges, one of our listeners sent in this article, let me see here. It's called 10 Relationship Red Flags You Should Never Ignore.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really insightful. It's basically a guide to help us spot those potential problems early on, kind of like preventative maintenance for our relationships.
I like that analogy, preventative maintenance. Because, just like a car, a relationship needs a regular checkup to keep it running smoothly.
Okay, so let's dive into this first red flag, which is all about communication. Or actually, maybe more accurately, the lack of communication. Now, we hear all the time that open communication is key in a relationship.
Right. It's like relationship 101.
Exactly. But, I'm curious, why is it such a big deal if a couple isn't, constantly chatting or sharing every single detail of their day?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's not really about nonstop talking. It's more about the quality of that communication.
The quality.
And the honesty too. Think of it like, imagine you and your partner are trying to build something together, like literally building something.
Okay, got it.
But you're not sharing the blueprints
Oh, yeah.
or discussing, the challenges you're facing, the problems that are coming up. That's kind of what it's like when couples just like avoid those tough conversations.
Yeah, they're just kind of sweeping things under the rug.
Exactly. And it might seem okay on the surface, like everything's fine, but over time, those unresolved issues can start to create like cracks in the foundation of the relationship.
Cracks in the foundation. Ooh, that's a powerful image. I like that. And, it kind of reminds me of that saying, silence isn't golden, it's just deafening. Especially when it comes to, like, the important stuff.
Totally.
And that actually brings us to our second red flag, lack of trust.
Ah, yes. Trust.
I mean, I think we can all agree that trust is, like, the bedrock of any solid relationship. Would you agree with that?
100%. Trust is fundamental because it allows us to feel safe and secure with our partner, like knowing we can truly rely on them.
Okay, I see that.
It's like a safety net. It lets us be vulnerable, open up to each other, share those deep thoughts and feelings without the fear of being judged or, betrayed.
Right, because if you don't have that trust, then you're constantly walking on eggshells.
Exactly. And when that trust is broken, for whatever reason, whether it's dishonesty, secrecy, or, something more serious like infidelity,
Right.
it can be incredibly difficult to rebuild, like seriously tough. And honestly, sometimes the damage is just irreparable.
Wow, so it's almost like you're trying to build a house on quicksand.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You need that solid ground, that foundation of trust to create something strong and lasting.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, so moving on to red flag number 3, we have controlling behavior.
Oh, this is a big one.
Yeah. I imagine it can be super frustrating and even stifling when someone tries to control like every aspect of your life.
Absolutely. It's all about power dynamics. One partner trying to exert their control to maintain a sense of like dominance over the other.
Dominance.
Yeah, and this often plays out through manipulation. It can be manipulating the other person's emotions, their actions, even their sense of self. And it can manifest in so many different ways.
So how does that actually look in a relationship?
Well, for instance, it could be something as overt as like dictating who you can and can't be friends with.
Oh, wow.
Or it can be much more subtle, like subtly undermining your decisions, making you second guess yourself,
That's interesting because you're right. It can start so subtly that you don't even realize it's happening until it's kind of,
Too late.
too late.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to recognize the signs early on.
And you mentioned the importance of respecting each other's autonomy.
Yes.
And I think that ties in perfectly with the fourth red flag. Disregard for personal boundaries.
Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Everyone needs them.
Right. Because we all need our own space, right?
Absolutely. And that space can be physical, like needing time alone, or emotional, like needing to process things in your own way.
Got it.
Boundaries are essential for a healthy relationship because they allow us to define our limits, protect our well-being. They encompass everything from that physical and emotional space to our values, our needs, even our goals.
Okay.
And when someone consistently ignores those boundaries, it's a huge problem. It can feel like a violation, like an invasion of your personal space, and it can lead to resentment building up over time. Oh, for sure. And this actually makes me think about, like, those friends, who always pop by unannounced or expect you to just drop everything for them. It's kind of the same idea, right?
Exactly. Setting boundaries is important in all relationships, not just romantic ones.
So true. Okay, moving on to red flag number 5. We have unreliable or irresponsible behavior.
Oh, yeah, we all know that one.
Right. And I think we've all probably experienced that frustration, of dealing with a flaky friend or a partner who just constantly breaks promises.
And it's more than just frustrating.
What do you mean?
Well, when someone's unreliable, it actually erodes the sense of security and stability in a relationship.
That makes sense.
Because reliability is about consistency and follow-through. Being someone your partner can count on. When you consistently let someone down, it kind of sends the message that, you don't value their time or respect their needs.
Yeah, it's like you're saying, my needs are more important than yours.
Exactly. And that's not a recipe for a healthy relationship.
No, definitely not. Okay, so this next one is a bit of a sensitive topic, but it's a really crucial one to address. Red flag number 6 is substance abuse.
Right.
And so I guess my question is, what are some key things our listeners should be aware of when it comes to this red flag?
Well, the first thing to understand is that addiction, whether it's to alcohol, drugs, or anything else, can have a profound impact on relationships. It creates this ripple effect that touches every single aspect of your lives together.
Wow.
It can lead to emotional distance, financial strain, all those broken promises we were just talking about. And in some cases, it can even create an unsafe environment.
Right.
And if your partner is struggling with addiction, it's important to remember that you can't force them to change. It has to come from them.
I see.
So the best thing you can do is encourage them to seek professional help. There are so many resources out there, but also, and this is really important, you need to protect your own well-being in the process.
That's really, really important advice. Protect yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to red flag number 7. This one is, it's called the X factor.
Oh, the X's.
Yeah, the X's. We're talking about this lingering attachments to a past partner.
Right.
And to me, it just seems like it would be so hard to really move forward in a new relationship if someone is like constantly bringing up their ex or comparing you to their ex.
Absolutely. It can create so much insecurity and tension in the relationship because it often suggests that the person hasn't fully processed their past relationship. Like they're not quite over it. And that can be a big red flag because they might not be emotionally available for a new healthy commitment. It's almost like trying to start a new chapter in a book, but you've still got a bookmark stuck in the previous one.
Oh, I love that. They haven't truly turned the page.
Exactly.
Okay, that leads us to red flag number 8, which is undermining your confidence. And this one is, it's just heartbreaking to think that someone you care about could intentionally try to make you feel inadequate.
It's true. And, a healthy relationship should be a source of support and encouragement, not a constant stream of negativity.
Right.
But when your partner is constantly putting you down, criticizing you, belittling your accomplishments, or, just making you doubt yourself, it can have a devastating impact on your self-esteem. And that's not okay. It's so important to remember that you deserve to be with someone who celebrates your strengths, encourages your growth, and makes you feel good about yourself.
So true. You deserve to feel good about yourself, especially in a relationship. Okay, let's move on to red flag number 9. This one is an unwillingness to compromise.
Compromise.
Yeah.
The cornerstone of any successful partnership.
Right. And it's not just in romantic relationships either.
No, not at all.
It's with, with friends, with family, at work.
Exactly. Compromise is essential across the board.
And no one gets their way all the time.
Nope. It's about finding that balance, being flexible, acknowledging that both people's needs are important. And when someone just flat out refuses to compromise, digs their heels in, it creates this imbalance of power, and that can lead to, resentment and frustration on both sides.
It's like a seesaw that's just permanently tilted to one side.
Perfect analogy.
And finally, we've reached the 10th red flag. Any form of abuse.
Oh, this one is serious.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
And it's non-negotiable, right?
100%. Abuse in any form is never acceptable. And it's crucial to understand that abuse is about power and control, one person trying to exert their will over another. And it can take so many forms.
Like what?
Well, it can be physical, emotional, verbal, or even financial.
Right.
If you are experiencing any form of abuse, please know that you're not alone. There are resources available to help.
Yes, please reach out for help. Okay, so wow, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
And it's so clear that recognizing these red flags is it's crucial for building healthy relationships.
It really is.
So what does all of this mean for you, our listener? What should they take away from this?
Well, I hope this deep dive has given you some valuable insights into the dynamics of relationships, how they work, what to watch out for, and that it's empowered you to identify those potential warning signs early on. Because remember, you deserve to be in a relationship where you feel respected, supported, and safe.
Exactly. Don't ignore those gut feelings. If something feels off in your relationship, it probably is. Sometimes those red flags are trying to tell you something really important.
I agree.
And remember, it's always okay to reach out for help, Ask for advice from trusted friends, family members, or even a professional. Your well-being is worth it.
Couldn't agree more.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.